Hello and welcome. My name's Heather. I'm a registered professional counselor and I'm going to be watching Selling Sunset Season 5, so let's dive in.
I think that's the problem with Christine. She's not learning from her mistakes. She's like making more and more and more. People that are hurt people. Whenever she sees them happy, doing well, she tries to tear them down.
So according to them, it sounds like the reason why Christine is lashing out or saying all these things or creating more problems or tearing people down is because she doesn't like when other people are doing well or is succeeding, and so she'll say these things to try to bring them down. I mean, that could be a possibility, but it's interesting just to hear their thought process or to hear their explanation around why they think Christine is doing all these things. And it's interesting that they were comparing her to Davina because I think it was the last season they were also having issues with her in terms of some of the things that she would say and some of the comments she made, and she's definitely changed a lot. And it seems like Christine doesn't like the fact that Davina has changed. In fact, she's trying to spin it in a negative way by saying that Davina is doing whatever she can to be accepted or to be liked. And, that's just not really something you say about a friend. And I guess, it goes back to Christine's loyalty, right? And her complex around loyalty and what friendships should look like. And it's possible that Christine on some level feels betrayed by Davina because Davina is willing to make those changes to be accepted and be a part of the group. And there's nothing wrong with, changing your behaviors because you realize that it's hurting other people or it's bothering other people, because that's part of life, right? You change, you grow, you try to be better, and in order to be better, you do better. And it sounds like for Christine, she sees it or she views it as a sign of weakness. Her mindset around loyalty and the way things should be in terms of friendships is very rigid. And I think that's why there's so much conflict and there's so much pain that these other girls and also herself, I'm sure, is going through. But I think that she's doing whatever she can to try to hide her pain. So she'll just create more problems and create all these fires that need to be put out. And she doesn't really want to deal or take responsibility for her actions or deal with the consequences in any way. And if anyone is against her or, has different opinions from her, she essentially just shuns them out, and essentially they're her next target. And we see it from the very first season that this is a repetitive behavior of Christine. Even when Christine was attacking Chriselle by saying she was two-faced, and Mary went there to comfort her, and Christine took huge offense to that. And that's essentially like when their friendship started to break or when they started to drift apart, was because Christine felt that Mary didn't have her back. And it seems that for Christine, anytime she feels that a friend doesn't have her back or she doesn't have her loyalty, she turns against them. And now she's run out of girls in the office who she can call a friend, and it makes sense as to why she wants to recruit someone else to come into the office so she has someone on her side. Also, just a quick reminder that everything I'm saying in these videos are a complete speculation. I'm not here to diagnose any of the participants. That is unethical. I'm not in a counseling session with them. I don't know them. The purpose of these videos is to use the events from the show to talk about psychology theories in general, also relationship dynamics, and how we can improve our communication skills.
I've been very loyal to Christine and had her back when no one else did. So for her to now say that I'm trying hard to get liked when I've been really understanding with her is really hurtful. It's like a slap in the face.
And it's understandable for Davina to be really upset by the things that Christine said and to say that Davina only cares about being accepted or to be liked by others. And it's a very normal reaction to want to belong to a social group or to a community. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be accepted. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be liked. I think the main issue for Christine is that she feels Davina betrayed her because she wants to be a part of the group, or she doesn't want to contribute to any more drama. And Christine took it as, oh, you want to be a part of the group? You're not on my side, so therefore you're against me. And it's a very black or white thinking. It's like an all or nothing thinking, which is a cognitive distortion. We all have these. But I think for Christine, it just takes such a huge prevalence in her life and in her relationships that it does create a lot of conflict when she feels that someone is stepping out of line, or if someone isn't exactly doing or saying what she wants in terms of having her back or being loyal to her. And I can imagine how hurtful it can be for Davina to have a friend who you trust, who you care about, and who you are defending just go behind your back and say these horrible things about you. I mean, and to make these assumptions to say that, oh, she just wants to be liked. And it could definitely feel like it's a sense of betrayal. So I mean, that could definitely impact their friendship moving forward, because Christine must know, and she's said this to multiple people now, that Davina just wants to be liked. Oh, she doesn't care. Oh, she's spineless, or, she just wants to be accepted. Like, she says it in a very negative way, and she must know exactly how it's coming across to the people she's communicating with.
Who's this from?
Oh, wow.
That's intense.
Wow. What?
Oh my gosh, is it from Christine?
From Christine.
Are you guys getting married?
It looks like her wedding. Did she take it from her reception and move it to your...
It does kind of look like it came from Christine's own bridal shower.
I never get to wear this, so I'm like, oh, red and black party?
So maybe it was a really passive-aggressive way to say, like, hey, I invited you to my wedding and my bridal shower. Remember that? And you didn't invite me to yours.
She knows exactly what she's doing. And that gift was to make sure that her presence was known when she wasn't invited.
We could see that there's a consensus that most of the girls think that it was a bit too much. Maybe it was a little inappropriate, but we do see that some of Christine's friends or people who have been on Christine's side is trying to give Christine the benefit of the doubt, because it's true, we don't really know what's going on in Christine's mind. We don't really know what her thought process was behind this. I think Christine herself is just very extravagant.
I'd hate to say there was ill intentions, but is this genuine? Is it from her heart? I really don't know. I mean, who knows if you're going to hear the truth?
Maybe it was her way to try to reach out and to mend the friendship and to make this grand gesture to show that, she really cares and that she wishes the best for Heather and her marriage, and that she just wants to be there in support of the marriage or their wedding. And maybe it was what they call an olive branch for her to reach out. But I can also see why a lot of the girls there think that it was a very calculated move, why they would think that it was very disingenuous, and why they would think that Christine just wanted to steal the show. Again, maybe it was just her way to let Heather know how much she cares about her, or that she wants to somehow celebrate their marriage or her bridal shower, and this was her way of doing it. Oh, is she gonna meet Christine?
I have been waiting. It's not the best way to start off a conversation when we haven't seen each other and had a talk.
Okay, I need you to shut up, first of all.
Don't talk to me like that.
Oh my gosh. So Heather is trying to set her boundaries, and I agree that's not the best way to start a conversation, especially if, you're not in the best place in the relationship or friendship. I wonder how late Christine actually was, though, because, and also, why don't they ever call or text each other when they're gonna be late? People are always on their phone. It's a very simple thing to just text and be like, hey, I'm running a little bit late. Sorry. Like, I'll be there as soon as I can. Or like, I'm gonna be there in about 20 minutes. Sorry for being late. Like, feel free to order an appetizer if you're hungry, and then I'll join you as quickly as why don't people text? Why don't people communicate? And it's also not great because Christine was also really late to Jason's party, and Heather wanted to talk to Christine then as well. Maybe Christine just likes to be fashionably late. It is also a bit of a pet peeve of mine. It's just, you don't want to keep the other person waiting. It can be disrespectful, especially if it's a constant thing. And Heather is just trying to set her boundary and let Christine know that, hey, it's not okay, and it was not great that you made me wait here. And it was not okay for Christine to be so dismissive and say, oh, you just need to chill. That's not okay. She could have just apologized and acknowledge the fact that she was late, or you're absolutely right, Heather. I shouldn't have kept you waiting. I should have sent you a text. I should have just let you know what was going on with me. That could have been smoothed over pretty quickly, but instead they left us off with a cliffhanger there. So, Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more analysis videos like this. In the meantime, feel free to check out my other therapist reviews videos, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, be kind and love yourself.